We're in the balcony of this choir, and I see two men struggle to carry what was the tiniest coffin to this day I've ever seen. It actually made me, and it still does, it makes me really cross. Me and God had a big falling out, because how dare he do this?
But it wasn't nice, obviously, because when I got to puberty, it started kicking off, do you know what I mean, giving it large portions, big time. And I had to get taken out of school and put in hospital, and I got diagnosed with the worst Tourette's in Europe at that time. 50 out of 55 known twitches. But I was pretty fucking severe, do you know what I mean? So.
First of all, thank you for listening to my story. Your story is equally as important.
Everyone's got a story, and it all carries a powerful message. It all carries a powerful message.
Head Cases Podcast, hosted by Damo Sims and Nick Stoppani.
Hello, welcome to Head Cases Podcast and episode 5 with my pal Damo Sims and myself, Nick Stoppani. Head Cases Podcast, Britain's freshest mental health talk show. Now today we are talking to someone who shot to fame on a reality show and had the entire nation glued to their TV screens. I tell you what, he decided to try for a particular TV show so that his mum wouldn't have to work in a fast food chain anymore. How sweet is that? Okay, I think before we crack on, let's see if the listeners can guess who our guest is today. All right, Damo, you up for doing 2 clues each?
Yes, let's do it, man.
Okay, right. Clue 1 is this. Today's guest is best known for winning the 7th series of a UK reality show back in 2006. Clue 2, Damo.
Okay, yeah, well, today's guest was born on March the 22nd, 1982 in London, but he actually grew up in Brighton.
Interesting. Okay. Okay, right. Clue number 3 is this. In addition to his television appearances, he has also been involved in music and acting. Right?
Ooh, didn't know that. Okay.
So give us the final clue, please, Damo.
He has worked with organisations to help raise funds and awareness for a condition he has lived with since a child. Well, have you guessed who our guest is yet? Well, you can find out in a moment.
Do you know what? I'm pretty certain some of our listeners would have guessed correctly.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
As Damo's just said, you've not got long to find out who today's guest is. Now, both Damo and I are so pleased he's agreed to come on the show.
Yeah, well, before we do that, Nick, right, before we do that, listen, if you would like to get involved in the show, then you can do so because we have a WhatsApp number that you can send your text to or a voice note. And that number is 07822 010819. If you're outside the UK, then add a +44 and omit the 0. So once again, it's 07822 010819.
I love how you say omit the 0. I do.
I've been practicing.
You've been practicing that.
Omit the 0.
Fantastic. And also, we do have a list of helplines and websites that we've put available on our own website, which, of course, is headcasespodcast.co.uk. And you'll also see links to all of our social media channels there as well. Now, it's time to introduce today's featured guest. It gives Damo and I great pleasure to introduce, are you ready for this? The winner of Big Brother's 7th series here in the UK. It's the one, the only, Mr. Pete Bennett. Pete, welcome to the show. First of all, can you tell us if your mum managed to lose the job at that fast food restaurant, please?
Yeah, and that's true. I got her out of it, yeah. I gave her the money and I bought her out of McDonald's. Do you know what I mean? And because she had a mortgage on the house in France, and I was like, I can't handle that, and it really bugged me. You know, I think I felt empathy for my mum for looking after me with Tourette.
Bless her.
I couldn't handle it after all those years of struggling, and then she's been working her ass off, looking after me. And then next thing you know, she's got a mortgage in France, working in McDonald's, and she's like an amazing musician, like played with all these old 80s bands, you know what I mean?
Wow.
Then she's stuck in McDonald's. I was like, I couldn't handle that. And I remember ringing her up and going, Mum, I'm going to go and win Big Brother for you and get the money. And she went, oh, wicked. And I said, I'm going to do it too. I'm not going to win it. I don't care. I'm going to go and get you the money. So I went and sorted her out. And it all came true. And I gave her the money as soon as I come out of the house.
Oh, do you know what, Pete? That is wonderful. That is absolutely gorgeous. Wow.
It's called belief and vision, you know. You've got to just concentrate on something you want and go and get it.
I do that a lot, you know, Pete. Conceive, believe, receive. I do that a lot.
Yeah, man. You've got to just have. Yeah, it's weird. There's some things that you know that you can't actually do, but like ridiculous stuff. But I mean, there's things that are possible.
So you're a believer, Pete, in the law of attraction, then, yeah?
yeah, definitely, yeah, definitely. I mean, I've definitely got things that I've always wanted in my life. Yeah, and you know, but you got to put the work in. You can't just think, I want that. And
that's right.
Up, you know what I mean? You got to think about it, and then you got to put hard work in. Then it'll come.
So right, absolutely. Oh wow.
Yeah, you can't sit on your ass all day.
No, absolutely not. You shot to fame at Series 7. Okay, Big Brother. Why did you? I mean, was the sole reason going in on a show like that to look after your mum?
Well, yeah, one of them was to sort my mum out, because. And there also was another one to get the Tourette's, get Tourette's out there on the map. Do you know what I mean? Because it was I was stuck in a world where well, it wasn't a very nice environment for me, and I had enough. I had enough of it. You know what I mean? Worst Tourette's in Europe. I was diagnosed with at the time, and
wow.
I was really bad. And so, you know. Imagine no awareness. You know, there was just shit out there. You know, I was chased down the street. You know, like, and every time I shouted "wanker" at someone, well, I mean, I don't blame them. But, you know what I mean? But I'm trying to explain it, like I've got Tourette's, and they wouldn't have a clue what was going on, or if I was lying. You know, I used to go, and I've got so many scrapes, so I had to go and. Help everyone who had Tourette's as well, because I realised that there was a lot of you know, those documentaries of kids with Tourette's online, and I mean not online, not back then, there wasn't anything online. It was on TV, but everyone on TV, these documentaries of kids, adults really suffering with Tourette's. But I had a bit of I quite liked it. You know, I mean, I enjoyed having Tourette's in a weird way. It kind of gave me quirks, like talents. I kind of made a joke of it, and I had a bit of a laugh with it, and made it into my personality. And I was quite confident having Tourette's. It was better than, you know, being so sad about it. And so I wanted to I thought, you know, I'm going to put a good message out there that it's okay to be different and have Tourette's, you know. Absolutely. What I mean? And so I went and I wanted to win Big Brother for that as well, and get the awareness out there, and help a lot of people, and you know, stop their suffering, and also stop mine too. You know what I mean? A bit selfish, but it wasn't just me, but it was everyone else as well. I wanted to help everyone feel better about themselves, and see, you know, show that it's okay to be neurodiverse, or whatever they call it nowadays.
Pete, before we move on to the Big Brother episode in your life, well, let's be honest, it was more than one episode, come on. But you were diagnosed with Tourette's at 14 years old, is that correct?
Yeah, I was, yeah.
So what was the response from people pre-14 years old?
Well, I was... Well, it was difficult. I mean, I was in South London. Do you know what I mean? I went to these like rough schools. Do you know what I mean? Proper next to the Ferrier estate, the roughest estate in England. Do you know what I mean? There was colour coded, so the police knew what tower block to go to when someone got stabbed. And right next to that, there was a school called Thomas Tallis, and I went there. And fucking hell, I couldn't. Oh my God, I was different. You know. I would get bullied a lot, and I couldn't really figure out what was going on with me. Lots of things were. I was holding in all these weird like twitches and breathing things, and like I was just you know, was getting in trouble for shouting a rude word at the teacher and shit. I guess it was horrible. And one day this bully came up to me, And he went, "What's wrong with you, bruv?" And I said, "I don't know. I don't know what. I didn't know what to say." And I said, "I'm ill. That's what I got to think about." And he said, "What? Your mother's sending you to school ill?" And then for some reason, in front of his mate, he got me in a headlock, and he stuffed a rubber up my nose, and that was on a pencil. So he got his pencil, shoved it up my nose. When he pulled the pencil out, the rubber was stuck up my nose.
Awful.
So I thought that wasn't very nice, was it?
No, of course not.
So I went home, and Mum said, "You all right, Pete?" I looked a bit upset, and I said, "I got a rubber up my nose. This bully got me," and then she took me to the hospital because she was scared that the rubber was going to choke me in my sleep.
Yeah.
Anyway, I went to the doctors and the hospital. The rubber had gone, so I'd actually had swallowed the rubber somehow. I went up and down into my. I didn't even notice. But and he said, "Oh, the rubber's gone." He said, "But he's got Tourette's." And she went, "What's that?" And then he told her all about this thing, and she went, "Oh, right. How long does that last for?" And he went, "Forever." And I was like, "Yes, thank God!" I was so pleased that. In a weird way, that bully helped me out, because I was undiagnosed, suffering, and then suddenly I was saved by this doctor who'd diagnosed me, and I realised that it was like the best feeling ever to all those years of confusion and not knowing what was going on and dealing with it, and having a hard time to suddenly be kind of like sort of accepted in a way, you know what I mean, or understood. Do you know what I mean? So it was a nice feeling to have that. But it wasn't nice, obviously, because when I got into puberty, it started kicking off, do you know what I mean, giving it large portions, big time. And I had to get taken out of school and put in hospital. And I got diagnosed with the worst Tourette's in Europe at that time. 50 out of 55 known twitches. But I was pretty fucking severe, do you know what I mean? So I was in hospital for a long time. And I got put into a special school with loads of other Tourettes in Swanley called Parkwood Hall School. Where I was, just around people like me, and it was great. You know what I mean? I could hang out with other guys like me, and it was all right. And I wasn't bullied. I was, part of the crew. It was nice. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Do you think up until that, I mean, obviously, when you went on to Big Brother, Pete, you did so much, obviously, personally for yourself, and I know for your family, like your mum, and you did so much for Tourette's. You really did. But up until that point, do you think that Tourette's really held you back in anything that you wanted to do in your life, or did you achieve everything up until then? Because your teenage years is quite a kind of heavy kind of period of your life, isn't it?
I couldn't get a bird. I mean, I was, I didn't think I wasn't very confident. I was not confident at all, really. But I think I was doing all the things I wanted to do. I was making music and that, because that helped me stop Tourette's. Do you know what I mean? I had a stepdad called Dave. He taught me how to make tunes on Cubase and that. So I got into making tunes, and I'm still doing it now. But when I do it, I relax. Do you know what I mean? I don't twitch so much. So that was nice. I was doing my little music thing, and I was an artist as well. So I was still doing all the things I liked doing, my hobbies and that. And then, I guess after, that was it. But yeah, I just, nothing's really stopped me doing anything. I've always maybe just getting a job. I can't get a job. I mean, you try and give me, mate, it doesn't work. I've tried so many times to just be part of, you know what I mean? Yeah. Capitalism, my favorite. But I can't do it. So I always get, even if I do get the job, the manager will go, "Oh, Pete Bennett, no, you can't have him." And I get sacked straight away. It's happened so many times. So I've just dealt with it now. And
Hold on, Pete. Hold on. So you get the sack just because of your condition?
Because I don't know. They say it's because of my notoriety or whatever it is. That's what I said once.
Right.
I can't tell if it's because I was on Big Brother, because after you go, you get a recognisable face, you go on Big Brother and on TV. One, being a reality star who's as popular as me, no one really wants to hire you as but also I have got Tourette's on top of that, and it's not like I don't know. I think people are very they're not like rude. They say it in a nice way, obviously, but I have my suspicions that there's something going on that they're not telling me. Do you know what I mean?
Did any of the production staff or producers or researchers say why you were chosen to go on Big Brother. Now, I heard, Pete, I can't remember where I heard this, but you fast-tracked that audition process like a bat out of hell.
Yeah, I bossed it, mate. As soon as I got there, as soon as I got there, they gave me a star. They gave me a star, and they stuck it on my thing, and I went straight through to the last round. Yeah, I was on a mission. Do you know what I mean? I was on this huge, amazing belief mission that nothing could stop me, and I was this like being from heaven because I took a lot of acid at the time, and I went there tripping my nut off at the auditions.
Right.
But it was all part of this journey that I was on with I was a raver at the time. I took a lot of psychedelics, and I did. Long story short, I saw my best friend die on a railway track and then on the New Year's, I took loads of acid, and I basically overdid it. Basically, all spilt down my arm, and then I went up to heaven in this spiral, this psychedelics like spiral to heaven, where I met everyone again and my mate who died on the railway track at the very end. But when I came out of that, I was in hell for 2 years, and I lost my mind. But in those 2 years, when I was regaining and trying to I was an acid casualty basically. But in that 2 years, I ended up taking acid one more time, and he came down from heaven. This is a true story. He told me the way back to get to heaven again is to win Big Brother. So I was on a mission since then, and I believed everything that happened, and I went for it, and it all came true. So yeah, that was my experience at the time. That was what I was like. I was a trippy little nut job who was just following signs and stuff, and just complete loopy little fucker. You know what I mean?
Brilliant.
Yeah, and it all worked out. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, if that hadn't happened, I wouldn't have been able to save my mum from working in McDonald's or sort out the Tourette's thing, and all these things happen for a reason. I guess that it needed to happen in some weird way, but it was.
Channel 4 at the time, though, Pete. My goodness me, having somebody like yourself, such a character, really out there, but with Tourette's on a live television show was quite groundbreaking, I think.
I mean, it was a perfect time for it. I don't think that it would happen now as much. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's groundbreaking. One, it hadn't been seen before. Because obviously that was a thing. It was new. It was new, and wow, what's that? Do you know what I mean? No one knew what Tourette's was. Well, a few did, and yes, it was a sparkly new thing. And yeah, it was quite funny too. I mean, I'm not saying Tourette's is funny, because it's not, but I did put humor in it too, to make people obviously like it as well. I don't know, in a weird way. All like me as well. There was obviously, because I was because I was bullied so much as well when I was younger. I guess there was a kind of way of making people accept me too. Do you know what I mean? Like making it a humorous thing as well. It helped me. It helped my environment. It helped me just live in a world where I'm accepted, and I don't know. It's weird. Psychology's funny, isn't it?
How could you not be accepted, though, Pete? I mean, to anybody that's living with any condition, it baffles me.
Yeah, honestly, it was the way it was. Before Big Brother, I was Peter Stevenson, and I was only accepted in Brighton. When I moved to Brighton, people accepted me. In Peckham and South London, no. I wore makeup, and I was a bit flamboyant, wore girls' clothes. Hey. I couldn't help it. I was brought up in the 80s.
Too right.
My mum was like, I was brought up by transsexuals. So I got into it. I was like, hey, this looks cool. Because my mum was in the communards, do you know what I mean? And Soft Cell, Mark Armand. She was touring,
Hold on a minute. Hold on a cotton picking minute. Your mother was in the communards?
Yeah, man. I'll show you. Yeah. My mum was. Go to the blonde violinist in the communards.
Right.
It was like, if you watch. Okay, look. Okay, here we go. Go to You Are My World.
Yeah. I love that. Oh, You Are My World.
Yeah. Go to that video.
Right.
On YouTube.
Okay.
And look at the blonde violinist on the piano. That's my mum.
Oh, wow. Unbelievable. Wow.
Yeah, she was in the communards, so I was brought up, surrounded by Jimmy Somerville and all that.
Yeah.
So I was, well, I was brought up in the gay scene, so I was very open-minded and a bit gay-friendly. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is, I was this open-minded weird little kid who dressed in drag sometimes because I thought it was what I thought it was cool. I can't remember what this. Where am I going with this? I can't remember.
Could be anywhere, Pete. Could be anywhere.
It doesn't matter where you're.
But yeah, check her out. Check out.
No, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to check that out. Definitely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I will.
Pete,
I'll send you a little video with me and Jimmy after this.
Oh, yes, please. Yeah, absolutely.
So, Pete, I mean, obviously, I think you're an extremely beautifully unique person. I mean, you've got an amazing personality. I know that you're going to say that perhaps Tourette's has been a big part in kind of creating you, giving you that inner strength, making you the person that you are. But what kind of coping mechanisms have you kind of learnt yourself that maybe other people in a similar situation could use, around people in the public perception?
I'm not going to say, because it's hard at the moment, because I'll tell you the truth that at the moment in life, I guess I am struggling. So it's hard to tell you how to cope, because I'm not coping that well as I used to.
Well, thank you for being so honest, Pete. Thank you for being so honest.
I'm not coping as good as I used to. I'm really twitchy at the moment, and I'm having I guess I've been through a lot, and maybe I'll tell you the truth. Maybe I'm just grieving. My best mate just died of cancer, right?
Of course.
His name was Auntie Nathan. Sorry. And I was just in hospital for the last 3 months, and he's just died of cancer, and I'm still going through the motions. So I guess after that's happened, I have found myself to be a little bit more of a recluse. Do you know what I mean? And I'm just
Pete, I can appreciate that, because my dear mum, she passed away just before Christmas in December.
Yeah, it's awful, isn't it?
It's tough. It is tough.
Yeah, coping. I'm the way to cope that this is how I'm coping, is staying by myself. I haven't really been able to cope with being out there, hanging out with people or anything like that. My bird's just gone to a festival, and I didn't go with her. I just stayed at home. So that, it's not like me. I'm always going out raving and partying, but I seem to be putting my slippers on a lot now, much more than I used to, and making music and just staying at home. And but I like to keep away from stressful situations now. That's how I cope. I mean, I'm finding that it's much more stressful now. Things stress me out more than, and I twitch more. So I guess I got a lot of healing to do. I must be going through something at the moment. I can't really tell how to cope. But if someone is struggling, I'd say get creative. You know what I mean? Get a good hobby and do some, something that you really enjoy, like climbing or making music, drawing, anything creative that you can put your mind to stop that, because it's all an energy outlet. You need an outlet, and once you start doing something creative, you can stop those twitches from. So yeah, maybe learn the guitar or something, or do something. You just got to put that energy somewhere, or a good foot massage. When I'm really twitchy, I tell you what. A fucking foot massage is really fucking banging. I swear, man, because I never knew, because I was well twitchy once, I was proper stressed out. Yeah. And my mate, she went, "Do you want a foot massage?" I was like, okay. I don't usually do foot massages, but she just gave me one. We didn't have any oil, so we melted a Magnum and just used ice cream, but it still worked. But yeah, thick. It really works. And I remember just feeling well chilled out afterwards and just completely zen. And I reckon, so if you're up for giving me one, you know what I mean? Anytime, I'm up for it, mate.
Pete, we'll have to hold you to that, because I think our listeners would like
put some communards on and give
definitely.
Me a
no, let's do it. We'll come down to Brighton, and you get your feet out, and we'll film it.
Can I just say on the foot thing as well? You mentioned that, and it's just took me back to last year. Me and the missus went away. We've only ever done it once. We went one of these yoga retreats for a weekend, and part of it you could pay and have a foot massage. Now, this woman who did the foot massages on you, she could feel around your feet and say things like, "Have you got a bad shoulder, bad right shoulder?" And you'd be like, "Yeah, how do you know?" And she reckons she could feel your feet whether it's your left or your right foot, she could feel and tell exactly where there was like ailments or, you've got a bad stomach. I can feel it in the base of your foot.
Wow.
Like, yeah, honestly. And my missus has bought a pair of socks that you can put on, and underneath you've got the areas like kind of drawn out, and it says like kidneys, liver.
That's sick.
Wow.
Honestly. But
I need one of them. I've
massages.
seen them. They look cool. Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
that's a good
honestly,
idea.
Crazy.
Isn't it? Yeah, maybe I should get them.
Maybe we should send you some, Nick. We'll send you some, mate. Do you want some?
Yeah, you got some.
I'll get some.
Well, yeah.
Yes, then.
I'm happy for that.
A little gift from Head Cases
you.
podcast.
Yeah, nice.
No worries.
Thank you, mate. Yeah, nice one. Yeah, I can't wait.
But only if you you film yourself putting them on and using them.
I will, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the deal. That's the deal.
Fantastic.
I mean, obviously, one of the things that people will probably bring up is a big part of your life. Her brother, obviously, was Nicky Graham.
Nicky, yeah.
Obviously, what an amazing character was she. She was completely out there, absolutely crazy. Who is she phrase, everybody knows that. And I know obviously you pair were extremely close in that, but what can you say what the impact was, the kind of when she went through the kind of condition that she had with anorexia, how that affected you as a friend?
But yeah, it take me a long time to be able to talk about it without it hurting so much, but I guess I'm at a point where I can probably say I've had a lot of thinking about that, and at the time it completely traumatized me.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know she had it at all. I didn't know she was that ill. We hadn't seen each other for ages, and she was in France for a while because she moved there. We didn't see each other or speak to each other for ages. But when she moved back to England, she started messaging me again. And I was like, oh, hello. And then this TV company got in touch and said, let's do a dating show together. So, I was like, that'd be fun. Me and Nikki back on the telly doing a dating show. Last minute, we didn't get it. Ashleen got it and something like that. But me and Nikki were in contact again. And it was really nice. We started chatting. And it was really nice to connect again. And it was old time friends just chatting. And then one day she started saying, can you come and get me? And she wanted me to get her out of this clinic. And I didn't know what she meant. But she was trying to get out somewhere, this clinic. And I said, I can't, Nikki, I'm afraid. I don't think I'm really the right person to come and get you out of a clinic. I don't know. It's obviously an anorexia clinic, but I didn't really understand. She sounded great. She sounded normal, but I didn't know that she was that ill. I just thought she was in there. She's probably got a bit thin, but I didn't know. But I couldn't go and get her because obviously that's just, unsafe. And I didn't want to do that. But I said, hang in there, Nikki, you'd be all right. Just gave her some positive words to just think about. But I think this might have been in lockdown as well, wasn't it? Near lockdown sort of thing.
I think it was. Yeah,
because that's when she went downhill, isn't it? Yeah. So, but we were in contact.
A lot of people went downhill.
Yeah, it was in April 2021. So,
so I kind of knew she was a bit ill, but she didn't really tell me what was going on. She just kind of asked me to get her out of this clinic. And I went to London, right? And there was a fundraiser put online by Carly Cunningham, and I saw a picture of Nikki looking really thin. And I was like, oh my God. So that showed me how ill Nikki was. And I was like, shit, this is really bad. So I immediately thought, oh my God, I've got to share this about. And I didn't know it was that bad when she called me from the clinic. So I ended up putting a few things out online and that, trying to help. And I was like, God, this really, just want to get as much money as I can for this fundraiser so she can get some money to help. So I went, I was in London, and me and Nikki were still chatting at the time. So, and she was having drinks. This one night, and there was a few people going around there. And so she was like, Pete, come round. I was like, yeah, sure. I'll definitely come around and see you, obviously. And, And so I but went all the way across London, and I went to see her. That's when I saw her. And that's when you saw the picture of me together and with her. But when I saw her, it was a real, oh my God, it was it was a shock. I'm going to say that it was a real big shock. I didn't know it was that, and I've never seen anything like that before. I've never seen a friend. When you see a friend who's looking great, and then seeing them and in such a bad way.
The contrast really, of it, isn't it?
It really affected me and really got broke my heart. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, guys, I've got to get this. I've got to help her as much as I can. So I guess I did. I took a picture of us together, and I thought this would help, spread around that link to get as much money for her as possible, as I knew it would. Just get some money together, and just to help, because I know how social media works and that, and yeah. So and it worked, and that was great. And then I went up and did Green Fingers, my sitcom, and then when I was filming after the shoot, they said, "Oh, are you all right to come in tomorrow, Pete?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm all right, don't worry." And then they said, "Are you sure?" I went, "Why? What's happened?" And they went, "Oh, you don't know."
Oh.
And then sorry.
And then it's okay, mate.
I still, yeah. So there you go. I just but I guess, and that's when I broke down. I was so upset because I wanted to help her so much, and I just couldn't.
Oh, mate.
It's right.
You take your time, Pete.
And then I didn't realize I was going to cry. Somebody cried, but I couldn't help her, and that's what broke my heart. And I don't know, for some reason, like how I won Big Brother, I had this huge belief that I was going to win Big Brother. Well, I had the same thing with Nikki. I was this mad belief that I was going to help Nikki, and it didn't work, and that's what fucked me up. I think that's when you have your sights set on something that you can help someone, and then they die. It fucks you up. I don't know why. I just believed I could help her and get some money out for her, and then it didn't work, and then that broke my heart, and then I got all this shit online, and I was so angry. But there's still people who troll me about it now, and all I did was try and help her.
You take your time.
Hello.
You're doing really well. You're doing really well.
Sorry about that.
No. Listen,
I didn't. I literally had absolutely no idea that I would cry.
Pete, don't apologise, because you don't realise how important it is to be open and honest about how we feel.
No, it was just because I think I was going through the memory of what happened, bit by bit, and then I guess as soon, I relived it. It was really mad, yeah. Yeah, shit.
Oh, bless you. No, right. Well, let's up the pace a bit. Obviously, you're known for being an absolutely awesome contestant for Big Brother. Which you won. Apparently so. What's really, really interesting to me is, I know I mentioned it earlier, and I'll just briefly go over it again. I mean, did the producers make any statement or any comment to you about your condition going on to Big Brother? Because, like we said, that had never happened before on television.
No, they loved it. I think they just saw me as something that would get the viewers in. I mean, I remember when I did the audition, I saw her eyes light up, and I was like, she's like, this is going to bring the fucking viewers in, man. Like, some nutter going on there, like, twitching his nut off, calling everyone a wanker every day. So bring the viewers in, and I just knew I had what it, I was like the X Factor personified in some weird, twitchy weirdo. It was great.
Oh,
and they didn't tell me anything or say anything about my condition. They only gave me a few tests to see if I was strong-minded, which I was, and confident and strong-minded, and I wasn't. Yeah, so it was great. I just knew that I had what it took, and I saw their eyes light up, and they went, "This is gonna rock, man!" And yeah, it was so easy to get into Big Brother. I just felt like I swam through it, and it was mad. It was crazy. I just went with the flow. I went with the flow. The flow was there. I went with it. I just sailed it. It was wicked.
Absolutely, that's wonderful.
If they came knocking at your door again now, would you go back in if they did like another celebrity special?
It's weird, isn't it? Because like back in the day, I liked the way it was. A Big Brother was there. It was happening, and it was an exciting thing, and it was all on. You know, it wasn't social media either. So you know, you could go on there, and people would love you, and they'd see a bit of you on telly afterwards, and there'd be a bit of you in the press or the papers, and that was it. And now, like, you go on TV now, anyone who's a reality TV star gets rinsed. Rinsed out to the max. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a much more dangerous world out there now. Do you know what I mean? So it's, do I want to do that to myself again? I don't know. Mental health is priceless. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I strive to do, is just have really good mental health every day. And so I've got my therapy. I go every week, and I just like getting my mind clear and feeling, really mentally well. And I think nowadays going on these reality TV shows and all the shit and trolling and and how touchy people are nowadays by what you say, they can cancel you in 5 minutes. I mean, imagine if I got cancelled for just saying something that I couldn't help or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Fuck that. You know what I mean? I don't think it's fun anymore. It's more like I'll tell
you what, though, you have hit the nail on the head, because I was cancelled.
Was you?
In a way, I was cancelled from a show, and we are. So I mean, I'm not going to go into too much detail.
Oh my God, it's horrible. It must be awful.
It is. No, it is. It was, and I'm glad you brought it up, Pete. I'm glad you brought it up.
What a bunch of pussies. Sorry, Tourette's there. Or was it?
Or was it?
Everything was a bit more tongue-in-cheek. You could have a right laugh. But now it's not the same.
Yeah, it was more in like an innocent kind of era. Then you got real people, didn't you think, you were on there?
Yeah.
We didn't understand social media because it wasn't really there. Whereas now people have kind of learned it, whether intentionally or unintentionally, they kind of use that to their advantage. Can I just ask you, Pete? You mentioned an important thing there in therapy. How important is therapy to you now?
Yeah, I love it. I love therapy so much. It's given me such a good understanding of myself, why the way I am, and maybe how I got Tourette's in the first place. I delved deep into my past and all the things that make me who I am, and it's great, and it's helped me get a lot of knowledge and wisdom about why certain other people act the way they do and do things it's weird. It's I love it. Not only does it help me, it's helped me wise up a lot and get a lot of insight to human behavior. And I was actually thinking maybe I'll become a therapist one day myself, because I quite like it. It's quite interesting.
Well, do you know what?
To understand.
Absolutely. There's a guy called Ian Lee. Now, Ian Lee was with Channel 4 for the, I think for the one show. No, not the one show.
I like Ian Lee. I like Ian Lee. Yeah, he was on Talk Sports.
What was the name of the show? Not one show. The 10 o'clock show, was it? Oh, I can't remember.
He was on the 11 o'clock show. Was
11 o'clock show.
And then he did Talk Sport. He did I'm a Celebrity.
Many radio shows over the years. But what I'm saying to you is now, he works as a therapist. He's a registered therapist, and I tell you what, it's great.
I mean, I think I thought about it a lot, and it seems like something because helping people is nice, and I've had a lot of weird shit happen to me when I was younger, and that, and the stuff that I haven't told anyone except my therapist. Do you know what I mean? So, that's like. That's the stuff you bottle up, and a lot of people have bottled up a lot of shit through their life, and they bottle it up, and it's stuff they can't tell people, and that's what fucks people up, and they get intrusive thoughts, because these demons, they bottle up and they become intrusive thoughts, and they overtake your mind, and they make you get triggers, and all these weird irrational emotions pop out and stuff, because they're not dealing with the stuff that's happened. It could be guilt, all that sort of thing, what I mean?
Yeah, Pete, you have nailed it. You have nailed it. I've literally...
I told you, I've got a lot of insight.
I'm currently having therapy myself, Pete, and that is something that we have spoken about with me, me and my therapist. And she even said, what you'll find, Nick, is a lot of people who are therapists have gone through some traumas in their life. And I thought I thought about that, and I thought, you know what? It makes sense. It makes total sense.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, my therapist, I mean, I'm not going to say his name, but yeah, he used to obviously, I think he used to be a bit of a smackhead.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? And a bit of a punk back in the day. And you know what I mean? Yeah, we've got a lot in common. I've never done smack myself, but you know, he's got an addictive nature and he's out of it now, and he had a lot of demons and shit. But you know, we really connect on a level, and he knows how to talk to me and tell me he's great. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I think you make a really good therapist. Honestly, I do. I'd
love to. I mean, I haven't got the time at the moment. I'm always doing music, and I'm always at the moment I've got this band called Love Dogs, and I've made a video recently called Snail Killer on YouTube. It's about accidentally killing the snails.
Yeah.
Check it out. It's like, so I'm constantly creating. I'm making music and making videos, making hard house, and I'm playing at some festivals this year.
I tell you what we do, Pete. I tell what we do.
Therapy.
Let's play a bit of that song right now.
Oh, really?
Walking at night, raining in the park. It was night time, so of course it was dark. I was thinking about what I'd have tomorrow for lunch. Then under my foot I heard a nasty crash. I'm a snail killer. Nothing makes me iller when my feet hit the ground and I hear the crunchy sound. I'm a snail killer. Nothing makes me iller.
Oh, fantastic, Pete. Wow. That was absolutely awesome.
Don't kill snails, man.
Do not kill snails.
That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. That, guys, is Snail Killer by Love Dogs, with a Z at the end, by the way. Love Dogs. And I'll tell you something else as well, Nick and Pete, I'll tell you this. I know exactly what that song is on about, because one of my things that really, like a pet kind of hate, is when I come in at night sometimes and I go down my steps, and if inadvertently I step on a snail, I am riddled with guilt.
So you should
so much so, I try and move them out the way. When I'm coming down the steps, I'll move them out the way to make sure that I can't stand on them. So I get that. Absolutely brilliant song. Absolutely great video as well. So get on YouTube and watch that, guys.
And also, we'll stick the link to the YouTube video in the show notes.
Oh, you're the best. Thanks, mate. Yeah, sick.
Right, Pete, before we say goodbye...
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Pete.
Goodbye.
It's not long now. So, you see, there's me wandering off, Pete. You are into your acting, your short films. I do want to introduce you to a friend of our show. He is phenomenal. His name is Bam. And I tell you what, wow, if we can all come together and create a short film or something, or just get creative together, let's do it and let's put it out there. And do you know what? Let's change people's perceptions.
Acting's great. I just did a film called... I think they're monsters up north. I do basically what I do horror films, like comedy horror films, like actual long films. There's someone at Amazon and that. Check out Crispy's Curse on Amazon. That's me. And I've been doing independent horror films for years. So, but when you know what my dream was, this is the thing. I had another dream, get to the cinema. That was another one of mine. And then I got auditioned to do Catherine Tate, and there I was, me and Catherine Tate swearing at each other in the lift. I had Tourette's in the film because Nan loves swearing.
That's right. Yeah.
She got me to be a little mate in the lift who have a swear off at each other. And I was so made up that me and Nan were in this lift filming with Warner Brothers. It was the best experience ever. But at the end of when it came out at the cinema, I was cut out, and I was so gutted. That was my dream to finally get at the cinema. But Catherine Tate messaged me, email. She gave me a nice email, and she said, "I'm sorry, Pete, I couldn't make the scene work. We had to cut it out." And I was just absolutely gutted. So I stopped acting for a bit, and I went just steamed into music, and I was upset. So I've I've had a real break from acting, but I just recently did a film up north with Velton, Lish. We did Green Things together, that sitcom on Amazon. And yeah, I was a vampire, so I've just got back into it. So yeah, any films that you want, some little twitchy weirdo from Big Brother on there. But when I act, I don't twitch, and I'm really good.
Wow,
I've got a lot of shit going on. Come on, look, I'm up for any films, and anyone out there wants to get me.
Oh, that's super.
I'm not bad looking, you know what I mean?
No, you're not. No, you're not, Pete. You're not,
Get me on the screen, man.
You're better looking than us, pal. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, that's right. Spot on there, Damo. Pete, thank you so much. We you're a friend of the show now. I'm sure, in the future we'll chat to you again. But what's coming up for you now? I mean, what have you got planned? Anything exciting planned?
So exciting stuff would be the festivals that are coming up this year. I've got Victorious Festival in Portsmouth. I'm playing at the Isle of Wight Festival on the Circus stage.
Nice.
I'm playing at the Bimble Bandana, and hopefully Glastonbury too. So this is like my little tour with the Love Dogs, and we're going to be playing Snail Killer and all the other songs. And I guess Snail Killer's out, so the next song that comes out now is called Superhero. So I've got to make a music video again. So the second music video is going to be made, and I'm going to be pumping that out, gigging, keep being a rock star. And when I'm a millionaire, I'm going to go travelling until I die, and that's it.
Pete, just one more time, thank you so much. Thank you very much. You are a star. It's simple as that. We send you all the very best.
Very nice person.
Well, bless you.
Well done for going to therapy too.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thanks, Pete.
I mean, everyone needs a bit of that. Honestly, I'm always isn't it annoying when you tell your mates like you got to go therapy? It's amazing. They're like, but I'm like, God, come on, it's so good for you. Honestly, anyone out there who's struggling, fucking get some therapy. It's better than any drug you can think of. And it's better than sex. It's actually better than sex.
Depends who with, Pete.
Honestly, it's you right up. It's fucking great.
Right, okie doke. Thank you very much, Pete.
All right, mate. All right, nice one.
What a lovely guy,
mate. I mean, and I've met him a few times before.
Yeah,
I'd always seen him as a really genuine guy, but the fact that he's just opened up the way that he has to two strangers, really.
Absolutely.
And on the show as well. But obviously the listeners are not going to see what we saw. The pain that guy went through when he relived these things in his life, and how open and honest and strong, really strong to come on and talk like that. It's just what a wonderful human being. What a really wonderful human being.
Do you know what, Damo? I respect to him. Absolute respect to him. What a guy.
Absolutely. If you'd like to be part of the show the same way that Pete has and everybody else up until now, and we do thank you all for sending your messages in as well, we will get around to everybody, then you can contact us on our WhatsApp number of 07822 010 819. And if you're outside of the UK, then put a +44, but omit the first zero. So it's 07822 010 819.
Absolutely. And head over to our website, www.headcasespodcast.co.uk. Lots of information and helplines and websites and all sorts of things on there.
All our social media, you'll find all our social media there. What a fantastically powerful and
very powerful,
intriguing show, mate.
Very powerful.
Really enjoyed that. Really, and thank you once again, Pete, for coming on. We do appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So until next week, then, guys. Thank you so much for joining us again. And remember, #Let's Get Talking.
Head Cases Podcast, hosted by Damo Sims and Nick Stoppani. Headcasespodcast.co.uk.